This is episode number 9 in Paper World Tutorials. In this episode, I will show you what you can do with the Mini World Creator that you get with Paper World Template. In Folder Creators, on Project Panel, you can see 3 subfolders there. We will take a look at Mini World Creator in this episode. This creator will help you make very detailed so-called mini planet shapes literally in minutes. So let's open Mini World Creator 1. And right now there is only this round shape here. We will have to put some shapes inside the placeholder to create something. Let's open this placeholder here. And here you can now use any shape which is included with Paper World, or create your own shapes using different tools, or you can also import shapes you have purchased or download previously from web. I will use here a dragon shape I have already imported into the project. I'll take this from Custom Element Shapes, where I have put it previously. So here is our dragon shape, and I can now drag this into the placeholder below this distort layer. And now I can adjust the scale and position so it fits into the placeholder. And usually you need to place your shapes so that they touch the low bottom edge of this composition. We have to move this one, the dragon, a bit lower. And I will make a duplicate of this dragon shape so you can better see how Mini World Creator works. Now when we go back to Mini World Creator and this updates, you can see here is our mini planet or mini world, and you can now control the size of the planet using this slider here on the control layer. So we can make this bigger. And you can see when you make the scale bigger, it will distort your shape layers. So we can correct this. To do that, we will lock this comp window, open new comp viewer, we'll then go back to our Mini World placeholder. And now using this first layer, we will adjust the scale and the position controls so that our distortion is corrected. And when you have made the planet scale bigger, you need to increase also the height or Y scale on this placeholder. And this will correct the distortion, and you need to correct also the position so they are your shapes are visible in this placeholder. Then you'll also will have to check that it doesn't cut off any pieces or parts of your shapes, because otherwise it will be cut off here also. So we need to make our shapes smaller. Okay, so now you can see why your shapes should be placed at the bottom edge of this placeholder. Then they appear to be contacted or at the edge of this mini planet. So just lock this world creator view, and then you can correct this distortion. Now, right now, this mini planet seems to be perfectly round because we have this very correct ellipse here, but we'll say that we don't want this to be so perfect. We want it to be more organic, and to change this we can add a shape here below. So make sure any of the layers are not selected, and this is turned off, the distortion, and then we can add a new layer. Let's say this is our Earth. It cuts off a bit of a small dragon, but that isn't important right now. So you can see how it updated here the view. Now this is what I wanted to show you, that when you add to the base any elements, you need to check that your left and right side are seamless, because this effect works so that it connects the left and the right side of the placeholder. When we add here, for example, an earth layer or some mountains, I want to make sure that this is seamless. So when I make something higher here, I also add a similar height element here. So I will correct this now. I can change this shape so that the left side will not be higher than the right side. We will just, actually we will just delete this one point. This one. And now we have the mountain only in the center of this. So you can see it updating here. It looks a bit more organic, and when we will take the shape layer below the distort layers where it needs to be. So add all your shapes below this distort layers layer, and then I will turn on the distortion so it will make the things look correct. After the updating, you can see we did add a small mountain or a bump here. So now we can close this and work with one composition at a time, composition window at a time. So open this lock also. So let's say we also want to use here animated elements, and to do that we will add a motion preset to our dragon layer here, and we will add this inside the shape. So open up this shape composition, and now we will add a new adjustment layer on top of our shape adjustment layer, and I'll double click on one of the Paper World motion presets here, a blowing wind preset, to add it, and I will make another one, another adjustment layer to add a second motion preset, and this time it will be the last one, the first and the last one. Here, this Paper World waving. Now let's take a look at how it animates. Make this slightly smaller. So we'll make a RAM preview. Now, one thing. Using this second waving preset, we also want to raise our wave height, because this is really subtle, otherwise it changes a lot the movement. Yeah, let's go back. Now you can see this dragon is continuously animating. So we have animated this shape we have used in our mini world. And with Mini World Creator, we have made a new shape and we can now use this in a new element. So to explain this, we use shapes to create elements, and elements we will use in our scenes. Let's close up the comps we are not using right now. Now we want to use this Mini World Creator in a custom element. And the first empty custom shape is custom shape number 4. We open this. We can place new shapes here. And we place here the Mini World Creator result, the shape it created. So I will just drag it into this shape holder here. And here it is. So now when we open and look at custom element number 4, then here it is. And elements have already are using the paper texture. So elements are shapes with paper texture. You can see better when I change the texture in paper placeholder. Put the vintage paper so you can easily see the change. Here when we go back into the element. So here it is. It is your shape, what you have created previously, and adds a paper texture. So shapes make up elements, and elements we will use in the scenes. I will turn back this white rice paper. We don't need these. Now we go into the new scene number 2 comp, and we can now use this newly created element in the scene. So I will make a duplicate of any element layer. Then I can replace the duplicate with a new element. Selecting both and holding down Alt or Option, I will just drag this on top of. And it just dragged it in. Now this can happen, and just press undo, Command Z, because sometimes the replacement is not successful. This is a common thing. Just let's try another time. This. Okay. And there is our element. Now I will make the scale for this much bigger, even over 100%, because it's in distance from our camera. So I can use a scale over 100. And I will place this and I also want this layer to be rotating continuously. So I will use a simple expression on the rotation property here instead of keyframes. Holding down Alt or Option, I will click on the stopwatch. And this will open a field where I can type in the expression. And this will be time multiple 15. And this 15 tells how fast it will be rotating. I will add one more thing in the beginning, value plus. And this will change the expression so that when I will drag and click elsewhere, when I will drag this value, I can set the start rotation. So let's say I will change this to 38 degrees. Now it changes the start rotation. And when we now run preview, we can see this continuously rotating. And here is our dragon on the mini planet animating, and the mini planet is rotating in the scene. So I will now add here more mini world creator elements which are already previously made, and you will get all these together with the Paper World template. In this folder, let's use number 14 and drag this into a new custom shape which is empty. So it will have a paper texture added too. So custom shape from here. And the next empty one is custom shape 5. We'll open this. Drag this mini world creator inside. Close this up. And now we have under custom elements our element custom 5 which we will now replace here, and we want it to be on top of the dragon layer. So we will replace this one, and we will also make it a duplicate of this a couple of times, because we want a layered look to these mini planets with houses. So let's make 2 duplicates, and we will also change the scale so they are all are visible here. So the first one, which is closest to camera, will be 63. The second one will be 73. So when using these kind of round elements on top of each other, you want to make sure that they are visible, and you need to make scale bigger for the back layers. And the next one will be 93. I'll make it bigger. And we'll now also change the start rotation for these so they are placed differently, and add some variety with this. For the second one also. And I will add here a simple camera zoom in, camera movement. So press P to reveal the control. Set a keyframe, and in the end of animation, 3 seconds, we will zoom this in like this. So you can tell a whole story in one scene with mini world creators. Imagine this with like 5 different mini worlds layered with animated characters and cities and other stuff animating in and out from the mini planets, while all these layers are rotating. And of course, this doesn't have to be all white. You can make every layer a different color. And I will show you one more great thing here you can do with this scene creator. Perhaps you have heard or seen this vertigo or dolly zoom effect used in feature films. This effect you can make so easily here inside the scene creator. So after we have animated a camera zoom in, I will also animate the position of these element layers. We will do this on main controls layer. And here is the Z position of elements. We will at first put this to 0 and create a keyframe. And you can see it takes the layers and puts them on the same distance from camera. Now in the end of animation, we will change this to bigger value, for example 300. And now the layers are pushed forward. The distance is bigger in between every element layer. And now when we make a RAM preview, I will also turn on this camera blur or depth of field from here. And then we also want to change the focus. Right now it's on layer 5. So we'll make a keyframe here. And somewhere in the center point of animation, we will change this to, we want the focus to be on the dragon layer, so it will be layer 11. Now when we go back and make a RAM preview, and now when this plays back, we can see this dream-like visual effect taking place here in the scene, similar to dolly zoom or vertigo effect. And Mini World Creator has been looked at here, and this is a tool you can use to make awesome, magical, highly detailed animated stories. In the next episode, I will show you how to use Circular World Creator. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this tutorial, you can subscribe and then you will get notified when we add more tutorials. Thank you. Bye.